This is a journey, a challenge, an experiment. Join me as I try one of the most basic things in life, walking. Together we'll journey between three very different lighthouses, from the Burnham-on-Sea Low Lighthouse in Somerset to Hartland Point at the tip of North Devon, before heading due south to explore Smeaton Tower in Plymouth. But this is not a film about lighthouses, beautiful as they are. This is about slowing down and stripping life back to the basics, embracing the moments as they unfold. Let's simply experience life as we pass it by, one foot in front of the other. Together we'll savour the colours, the scenery, the rain, as we explore the peaceful and beautiful countryside along the border of Devon and Cornwall in the southwest of England. Day 3. Hobbling, but happy. Good morning. Well, it rained a lot in the night, a lot. And I'm back in my... Well, I've got one dry pair of socks with a wet pair on top. Back into my wet boots. Just having some porridge and coffee. I may need to change the plan later. It looks like there's going to be a lot of rain. Sorry, talking my mouth full. A lot of rain coming in tomorrow. Not quite sure what I'm going to do, but we'll get a few miles under our belt in a second and we'll take it from there. Okay, it's time to stop already for the ceremony of the changing of the maps as I move off my current map onto map 111. Trumpets, please. It was go time again, and although way behind schedule, this was no time to give way. Looking at the map, there was a very direct route that I could follow to get more miles under my belt, quicker and with less hills. But, as with most change of plan decisions, there was clearly a compromise. I had chosen to leave behind the beautiful, inspiring footpaths to follow a dull and noisy main road. Today would be a day of crossing roads and dodging traffic. I had also by now realised that though my heavy pack contained most everything I needed, I had forgotten to pack my walking socks. I had socks, but not walking socks. You know, the sort of socks essential if you're planning a long walk. I felt just a little bit stupid. By now my feet were really sore with damp macerated heels and toes. I'll spare the detail, but despite padding them up as best I could, they moaned at me for the whole day. I stopped for a rest, a break, mercy for my feet. annoyed that I had most likely limited my own progress by forgetting such an essential item. But I wasn't immobile. There was no reason to give up. I would just have to take better care of myself with the basics that I had. Nope, I was not giving up. And hauling my now only ever so slightly lighter backpack onto my back, I hobbled on. And finally, leaving the busy road, I settled back down to what was becoming my natural habitat, quiet leafy lanes with verdant views. Again I met with the river, muddied after the rains, and like me headed south towards Plymouth and the coast. Then on across a bridge, over the remains of a dismantled railway, once a route for excited tourists drawn to the coast at Bude in Cornwall, but now long abandoned to allow nature to do her thing and slowly dissolve the memories of times gone by. Well, I've stopped for lunch. Absolutely shattered. Gonna use a little bit of sunshine. I had brought enough of these hermetically sealed sachets of wonder to get me through the next few days. The ready meals were convenient and tasty, meaning I could minimize time spent cooking, yet still look forward to meal times. A welcome addition to my backpack, they're easily available by post from Basecamp Foods with free UK delivery. I've put a link in the description if you're interested. I had to stop and do a sock readjust. When you start walking, the pain, and then after a while you get back into it. I'm just picking up my speed again now. See if I can get a few more miles under my belt before about 5ish, and then we'll be looking for another cosy campsite. But meanwhile, let's keep going. Oh, hello. Oh, what is this? Oh, people should have more of these. Oh my goodness, that is nice.
What? Nope, pub was closed, but I met a nice guy who was caretaker for the chalets, I guess, and he filled up my bottles for me, so 3 bottles of water all topped up. That makes me feel good. Whew. Now it's official, look for somewhere to sleep time. I know it's light, but I want to give myself plenty of time because I've got to dry my tent out if I can and find somewhere decent. Looks a bit like a cow field, but there's no cows right now. Let's see what's down in this corner. Looks more sheep than cow field. I don't mind sheep so much. What about this? Oh no. Completely boggy. No. That's a shame, that's nice. No, too wet. I was a bit worried by that farm over there. I've just moved into this corner. This looks fine. To be honest, I am so tired. I don't actually care anymore. Oh look. Perfect. Here's my campsite. Let's hope no cows come around later. Beautiful. Drying off. Don't know if you can hear that. Here comes the rain. I'm all snug and cosy. I'm right next to a road here, but there's a huge big hedge, so nobody can see me. But I could hear voices a moment ago, hoping for an uneventful, restful night. Good night.
On my third day of walking, I had covered 13.88 miles, or 22.34 kilometres, aided by my change of plan to follow the easier, straighter but busy and noisy road south for a while. From Hartland Point, I had now walked 38 miles, or 61 kilometres. Day 4. Hot food and a Land Rover.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm finally ready to get on my way.
A new day, grey and damp, but I was hopeful I could gain some ground. I set off promptly, hoping to make up a few miles, as it was becoming apparent I'd overestimated how many miles I'd cover per day. I wasn't anticipating an early lucky break though.
Well, I didn't get to film that, but I'd walked about, 200, 300 metres up a hill, not a very big one, and this farmer stops in his Land Rover pickup, offered me a lift. So he's taken me, probably about 3 miles, and he's gone off to his farm. Oh, I did think whether I should catch a lift, but yeah, perfect. It's going to keep me going. This isn't just supposed to be about the walking. This is about what happens on the way. So, yeah. Thanks, mate, whoever you were. Thanks again for the lift. Oh, look. Perfect. It's map change time. Hang on a minute. Even better. Right, change maps. So we're changing from map 111 to 112. What lovely people. So I stopped to do my map change. Had to take a layer of clothing off as well because I've warmed up pretty quick. I was waiting in the bus stop and this lady with a small child came up and said, "Are you waiting for a bus?" Because apparently there's none running today, so even if I wanted one, I wouldn't get it. Anyway, nice of her to think of me. I guess I look pretty rough and people are feeling sorry for me now. Or they're just genuinely nice people around here. Anyway, that's buoyed me on a bit. I've picked up my pace, which is nice. Let's see where today leads us. I'm just looking west and I'd say it's lightening up. Should be able to take my coat off soon.
I'd made a timely lunchtime stop at Strawberry Fields, a farm shop, and as you can see, well worth a visit, especially if you've been walking alone in the rain for some time. Easy access from the main A30, it's somewhere I'd definitely revisit if passing again. Coffee, a deliciously cooked roast, dessert and other delicacies were all just too good to miss. Ah, the rejuvenating power and joy of food when life has been stripped back to the very basics. How easy it is to take it all for granted, or even forget what really matters, while we immerse ourselves in things that often don't matter at all. Well anyway, having now thoroughly feasted, it was time for the adventure to continue. Back to that oscillating contrast of busyness and noise. And peaceful, quiet, verdant green. And more wet rain. The obstacles of life are always present, always changing. I just had to make the most of them as I continued to walk on past. To learn that with pleasure comes pain. With pain comes experience, character, acceptance, empathy, success and fulfillment. If I was tired, sure, I could rest a while, but the expectation of what might be around the next corner kept me going. As the road stretched on, I wasn't too sure of the way at this point. I could see hills in the near distance, and so continued heading right for them. The quiet road now becoming steeper and slower as I went, steep and slow, so slow that even the grass had time to grow on it. Once atop the hill, I was again rewarded with another beautiful view west across the Tamar Valley. It really is special, yet so easily overlooked by the thousands of tourists who head through on the main A30 for the busier beaches and resorts. And that is probably a good thing, I figured. The peaceful, quiet character of the area could so easily be lost if too many of those tourists sought to stop here. Instead, I was able to enjoy the company of the locals, happy hens eager to chat, bunnies playing while their mother looks on, red Devon cows spending their time doing cowy things, all the while continuously serenaded by the gentle background soundscape of birdsong, blackbird, robin, and the scrape and crunching beat of my own footsteps. It would be so easy just to drive past a building over 770 years old, for example. I mean, 1252 AD or thereabouts. Imagine living back then. I'm not actually sure it would be that much nicer for a simple traveller like myself. Yet so many must have passed this way since, like me, carrying only the bare essentials as they followed their own journey. Now back onto a footpath, I was tiring. My walking day was coming to another natural end. Setting up camp early seemed to work well, and it was time to repeat the process. As the wind picked up, crawling into my tiny tent and recharging for the next and final day was now, again, the top priority on my mind. This whole looking for a safe and secure sleeping spot where I won't be disturbed or noticed scenario was, I was learning, very much in the hands of fate. It really depended on where I found myself at the tail end of the day and what was available to choose from.
Okay, so I'm following this path, kind of a path. Seen worse, but I know it's taking me at least in the direction that I want to go. If I find a suitable campsite on the way, well, that'll be a bonus. The thing with wild camping is you never know if you've got a good successful spot until the next day. Please, please, find me a campsite. Quite sure where I am. I think this might be someone's garden. Oh gosh. This doesn't look right. What about up here? There's steps going up there. Dunno. Oh. No, someone's tried to block this. And I'm too tired to climb. Let's keep going. Oh. What about this? This is a possibility. Right, this could be tricky. Oh, I need a handrail. Okay, got it. Oh my goodness. Oh no, back on the footpath again. Looks quite well worn. Okay. So this is brambles. Maybe people don't come out here. Oh, what am I doing? I've just come back. I've just come back to the same path. Okay, not to be.
If anyone had seen me skulking about those woods, I suppose that they would suppose that I was up to no good. Yet, in reality, here I was, a harmless walker, wearily looking for the next most important thing in my life, a safe and secure spot to sleep, somewhere unnoticed where that sleep will not be disturbed, knowing that in the morning I'll be gone, leaving no trace that I had ever been there at all.
Oh my days. It's starting to rain. Well, let's try over here. My criteria is well hidden, no cows, preferably no sheep, not in view. Preferably shorter grass because this looks wet. Oh, let's have a look. Looks like silage again. What about round this corner up here? A solar farm, no houses. There's a farm over there. I'm tired. This might have to do. Yeah, here we are.
Well, it had happened again. The quiet call of the field had beckoned me in. This was my sort of habitat. For the fourth night in a row, I was looking at a field to sleep in. And that, actually, was not a bad feeling. The rain had cleared, and another snug little camp spot was set, leaving me to my own personal serenade from a song thrush, chiff-chaff and robin. Magical. I had walked 14 miles, 22.61 kilometres by the end of day 4. From Heartland on the north coast, I had now covered a total of 52.06 miles, or 83.78 kilometres.